morning, everyone, and welcome to our presentation, So You're 18. Today is all about helping you, our students, understand the exciting freedoms and very real responsibilities that come with becoming a legal adult. Turning 18 brings new rights, opportunities, and independence, but it also means being accountable for the decisions involving school, employment, finances, social media, driving, voting, legal matters, and much more. We are incredibly fortunate to have local attorneys, law enforcement officers, and community professionals with us today to share their expertise and answer questions honestly and openly. Their goal is not to scare you, but to prepare you, to help you make informed decisions and successfully navigate adulthood. We hope you leave today feeling more confident, more informed, and more empowered about the next chapter of your life. Thank you all for being here and being attentive. I'm going to turn things over to Mr. Taylor Baker, attorney at law.
Good afternoon. My name is Taylor Baker, and I'm the president of the Alleghany Bar Association. And I'd like to introduce our first speaker, Charles Moore, who is the Commonwealth Attorney for Bath County.
Thank you. As Taylor said, I am Commonwealth's Attorney for Bath County. That does mean that when someone gets in trouble, I'm the one who tries to make sure that they receive the appropriate consequence for their actions, as opposed to what Taylor does, where he defends people who are in the same situation. I am also the treasurer of the Alleghany Bar Association, so I'm also the second in command in that capacity. It's good to see all of you, and I remarked when I spoke last year that just judging by my sizing of everybody up in the room, it looks like the people that need to hear this the most probably are not the people that came today. I feel that you all look like you have big heads on your shoulders, and it's just a sense that I get. This talk and these types of talks became fashionable in the late 1990s when I was in high school myself. So in that way, it's deja vu all over again. It's so you're 18, and then they tell you a bunch of things that you're going to have to expect, that you're going to be responsible for, and some of it you tune out, some of it might make a difference. But I hope that you listen to all of us here and try to prevent you from making some of the same mistakes we made as we were coming up. Another thing that was popular in the late 1990s, early 2000s was the idea and the focus of the very real fact that the human brain does not reach full development until it reaches about 25, 26 years old. And while that's an important and true scientific fact, I always wondered at what the agenda was of those people who would constantly bring up that fact to the audience, whoever they're speaking to that's your age. Sometimes I think it's well-intentioned. It is an attempt to let people off the hook, maybe rob them of some of the more dire consequences of their actions. Sometimes it's to warn them. But what I see when I hear that said over and over again is the actual practical effect is to take people who are your age, take away their agency. And I think that's a real shame. I really applaud Alleghany High School, Ms. Ranther, and everybody here for not doing that, for reminding you that you are 18 and you are going to be adults, and that is actually a good thing, not a bad thing for you. Yes, it's true you're not going to go to juvenile detention anymore. If you do get in trouble, you're going to go to jail. But you will enjoy more freedoms, more responsibility, and it will be a more rewarding experience for you as you all get older. So I want you to pay attention to the folks that are up here today. They're going to tell you a little bit more specifically about some legal realities, mental health resources that are going to be available to you in the Alleghany area, and some anecdotes of some unfortunate things that have happened here. Just listen to it, keep it up in mind, and I congratulate all of you who are about to graduate. Thank you.
All right, next up we have Ingrid Barber, the Director of the Community Services Board here in Alleghany County.
So good afternoon, everyone. My name is Ingrid Barber, and I'm the Executive Director for Alleghany Highlands Community Services. We are your local provider of mental health and substance use services, located right here locally. And our office is located at 311 Monroe Avenue in Covington. First, I want you to know something important. You have a resource in your community. So if you have a mental health or substance use problem, or if you know of someone who needs help, we offer same-day access services Monday through Friday from 11:30 to 3:30. You can walk into our location, be seen by a clinician, and an assessment can be done. There's no barriers. You may have to wait depending on the census of who's walking in. Or you can call 988 and you can talk to someone over the phone. If you just want to do it in the privacy of your home, your car, or whatever, you can call 988 and talk to someone. There's no judgment or anything. As you turn 18, you're stepping into independence. So what comes with that responsibility is also a little bit of risk. So let me share a reality with you. In Virginia, preliminary data from 2025 shows that drug overdose deaths remain a serious concern. Even though we're beginning to see some decline with the assistance of the Opioid Abatement Authority funds and some of the things that community services boards are doing across the state, nationally overdose deaths have slightly decreased for the first time in years, but they're still at historically high levels. That means people are dying every single day from preventable causes. And here's what's especially important for you to understand. Many of those deaths are happening because pills that people think are often are safe are not. Right now, some of the most common drugs impacting young people include pills that look like prescription medications, such as Percocet or Adderall. Marijuana products that are stronger or mixed with other substances, and increasingly substances that are laced with fentanyl, a drug so powerful that even in small amounts can kill you, and it's very deadly. These pills are often sold on social media, through messaging apps, or by people that you know. They look real. They may even have the markings on them that make them look legitimate, but they are not safe. Here in Alleghany County in the city of Covington, we are not immune to this. We have seen firsthand the impact of substance use on individuals, families, and on our community. These are not just statistics, these are people and these are lives. So I want to be clear with you as I leave. Do not take pills from anyone unless they're prescribed by your doctor and dispensed by a licensed pharmacist. No pill purchased online is safe. No pill taken from a friend is safe. And no pill that is purchased on social media is safe. No pill is safe, again, unless it comes from the licensed pharmacist and your doctor. And just important, do not let yourself be pressured. If someone offers you something, you have every right to say no. If you feel uncomfortable, walk away. If you're unsure, talk to someone you trust, either a parent, a teacher, guidance counselor, coach, school resource officer. Let somebody know that you feel uncomfortable. Ask for help. This is a strength, asking for help, not a weakness. I'm not here today to scare you. I'm just here to make you aware and understand the risks that you face as you step into adulthood. You have your whole life and your whole future ahead of you. I know many of you sitting here have gotten scholarships to universities. Some of you are going into local law enforcement. Some of you are going to work here locally in the public. Your whole future is ahead of you and you need to protect it. Make smart choices and look out for each other. And remember that you're not alone. Help is right here in this community if you need it, or you can just pick up the phone and call 988 if you need assistance. Thank you and congratulations to all of you as you take the next steps.
Next up, we have former member of the General Assembly and local attorney, Bill Wilson.
Thank you, Taylor, and good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to try to scare you a little bit. Ingrid's maybe not as forceful as I am, so I'm going to try to scare you a little bit. And with me, it started a couple of years ago. My wife and I were down at the Masonic Lodge in Clifton Forge, and a lady was there named Beth Macy, and she has written 2 books about the drug crisis in the western part of Virginia. One of the books you may have read about it already, called Dope Sick, and the second book, which is like unto it, is called Raising Elijah. And those books are about a drug crisis that's sweeping western Virginia. It's sweeping the country, really. But she's writing mainly about western Virginia. When I watched that program, people stood up in the audience and talked about their own personal experiences with the drug crisis. And it was very, very impressive. And it was moving certainly to me, and I think to the audience. So I started thinking about this Soldier 18 program that we're conducting today. That program is sponsored by Virginia State Law, and it goes on all over Virginia. And it's a good program, and it's been very helpful. And for students such as yourselves who went out in the world, having this information, you'll hear from the sheriff, you'll hear from others who will talk about some of the issues that you face when you go out in the world. But this drug problem is an urgent problem. And so what we did was Alpha adopted the drug component to the program. So we did the usual. We talked about the driver's permits and the crime and all that sort of thing. But we added to it the drug component. And when we had the last program, at least the last one that I recall, it was in 2023. And so we were looking for somebody who had had a family experience with a drug addiction. And we found a fellow named Dresser. And he's the one who owns the farm and fuel business. I think all of you know where that is in Covington. He lost his mother, his wife, and his son all within about a month's time. And so I went to him and asked him, will you come down and talk to the students about what happened to your son? And he said he would. And he told me when his son was heavily into the addiction that he came home one day and he found his wife in the floor and she was being beaten by her son, who was under the influence of some heavy medication. Well, he was using the usual street drugs. He was using cocaine, he was using heroin. But what he got into was what Miss Barber just talked about. He got into this dangerous, fatal manufactured drug called fentanyl. Have you heard about fentanyl? If you haven't, study it, read up on it, because it'll kill you deader than a doornail. And what the drug manufacturers have found out is they can take a little fentanyl and they lace it into the usual drugs, heroin, cocaine, marijuana, that sort of thing. And it gives you a much bigger bang for the buck. The trouble is, that bang has killed, I don't know how many people. The governor of Virginia, Governor Youngkin, when he was governor, year or two ago, he promoted the drug crisis as being one of the biggest crises facing Virginia. And then since that time, the Attorney General has gotten into it, and the judges and prosecutors have gotten into it, and people who are manufacturing and pushing drugs are being punished like no drug dealer has ever been punished before. And I think all of us, I mean, it strains my memory. I've been practicing law since 1963, so I have to really think hard about when I was young. But when I was young, I was like most of you all. I was a chance taker. You know, I like to drive fast, and I did things that were foolish. The trouble is, we all do that, and it always has been and always will be. Young people are just chance takers. But when you take a chance, and that's the point that Mr. Barlow was making, when you take a chance on medication, a pill, or a shot, whatever it is, and you take a chance on it and you think you get a fun bang for the buck, a high, and you find out later you're dead as a doornail. You know, somebody's at your funeral. You really have to think about it more than just being a young person taking a chance. So think about that carefully. One thing I would add, and I was talking to Mr. Baker about it earlier, because of our program, which added the drug component, the drug crisis component to it, we have been given an award by the state park. And I'm trying to talk Mr. Baker into going down and picking it up at Virginia Beach when it comes up. That's how important it is. It's a big, big issue. When Mr. Dressler testified, you could have heard a pin drop, because he was talking about how his son, he tried to rehabilitate his son. He almost had him there, and then one day he came home and his son was dead, and that's where we left. So think about it, very important issue. Thank you very much.
Next up, we have a special guest, Ms. April Miller, who will tell us about her own experience firsthand.
Hi, I'm April Miller, and I realize some of you have to go to class. I don't like standing up there. I was a teacher for 24 years, so I like to be down here with you guys, because I want to make it very personal. Let me explain to you that my father died at the age of 50 because of alcoholism. He started drinking when he was 9. He also started smoking when he was 9. So I want you to understand that when you go to parties, and you just had prom, so I know that you were probably at a party. When you go to parties and you go, oh, just one drink, it won't be any problem. Let me tell you, as a prevention specialist, it can be a problem, and you can become addicted very, very quickly. It affected my entire life. He became very violent. I was abused all of my life while he was still around. So folks, whenever you start, you know, I'll just have this drink now, or I'll smoke this weed now, or I'll hit this vape now that you have no idea what's in. It won't be a big problem. But your choices affect other people, no matter what happens. What if you take a drink and you don't get behind the wheel? You're going to have to see Sheriff Moore. you might have to see one of these lawyers up here. So that can affect not only you, but it's going to affect your family, right? Because none of you can afford the fines. No, but none of you can afford to see one of these lawyers all by yourself, can you? No, you can't. So I want you to keep that in mind. That when you're out at these parties that you think are so cool and want to be an adult and do all the adult things, think about that. That you're not only affecting yourself and your high, you're affecting everybody else, and you could affect everybody else. My brother was also addicted to methamphetamines. He died from esophageal cancer because he drank so much and he was on so many drugs. I watched him die. I watched him suffer. I watched him try to come off of meth. It's not a good road to hoe at all. And I am trying to scare you a little bit, even though that's not evidence-based. I just want you to understand that it's not all about you, okay? I also want you to know that we have tables set up out in the hallway for you. Any of that stuff is free for you guys, okay? Mrs. Barber is my boss, okay? She brought us here so that we could provide things for you. We have a prevention services out there that we try to come into the schools to try to educate you so that I don't have to scare you, so that you understand what risk you're taking. In our county, we have 2 boxes, one in Clifton Forge, one in Covington, at the CSB, that are there for your protection. Because fentanyl, Mr. Wilson, is a bad problem. And if you all don't think it is, let me tell you that it is. I've seen the data from our area. Please use those unity boxes. They have fentanyl test strips in them. They have xylazine test strips in them, which is other things that they hide. They also have condoms in them so that you can have those free of charge anonymously. They have information about fentanyl. They have information about HIV and AIDS. So it's all available to you free of charge, okay? We also have other things out here for the mobile crisis unit because they are available 24/7. You can call them. They will come out to you if you're having a mental health crisis. If you feel like you're alone, like you're having suicidal thoughts, please call them. They will come to you and work through the problems with you, okay? So please stop by those tables on the way out and please tell them hi. And for those of you that are graduating, we also have a bracelet for you to keep. It's all yours. It's our gift to you, and we are proud of you. So thank you so much for your time this morning and for listening.
So next up, I'll talk a little bit. As I said, I'm Taylor Baker. And unlike the other lawyers up here, I'm a defense attorney primarily, so I'm kind of on the other side of the coin. That's not to say that I'm going to say you should do drugs or you should drink, because you shouldn't. But I'm also not naive enough to know that a certain percentage of you are going to, or are you going to be around friends that do. So I want to talk about something that was passed a couple of years ago, 2021. Called the Good Samaritan Law, and I think it's a good thing. Basically, let's say you're at a party, and maybe you're not doing drugs, but a friend of yours is, and they overdose, or they start foaming at the mouth, or they need medical attention. Now, you might say, well, I don't want to get in trouble. I don't want to hang out while the police come or the ambulance. This law allows you to call 911 and not get in trouble. It protects you from liability. And this works for alcohol, the unlawful purchase or possession of alcohol, marijuana possession, even underage, and possession of a controlled substance, cocaine, heroin, fentanyl, all the bad ones. Also for paraphernalia in drunken public. And all for it to apply, you've got to call firefighter, law enforcement, 911. You've got to remain there until that person responds, and you've got to be upfront about who you are. And even if it's for you, even if you're the one that needs help and has done something wrong, you can still be immune from prosecution. Another thing I wanted to talk about was internet stuff, all right? Snapchat, TikTok, Instagram, all of them. Nothing ever goes away, even if they say it does. The lawyer can find it, the courts can find it, the police can find it. So even if you think that, well, that snap's going to disappear, it's not. And unless you want it, it's something you wouldn't want your parents or a cop or a judge to see, just don't do it in the first place. Same thing with like sexting underage. Even though you might both be in high school, technically that's the production or possession of child pornography. Something else that's fairly new is the revenge porn statute. This makes it a crime if somebody sends you an intimate photo and you show it to your buddies, or you sell it, or you post it on the internet, or just in any way distribute it. You can go to jail, and people have and will continue to do that. But just know that that is very much illegal now. And just in general on social media, it's okay to take a break. It's a cesspool out there. I know all of you probably do it, but you know, it's all right to take a break now and then. Lastly, I wouldn't be a good defense attorney if I just didn't remind you that we all have rights. You know, you're going to hear some law enforcement in a minute, but you know, in the event that you are stopped by law enforcement, you don't have to talk to them. If you're pulled over for a DUI, you don't have to take field sobriety tests. Be polite, identify yourself, and that could be the end of it. But just be aware that you do have rights and you know, exercise them. That's to say, don't drink and drive. And with that, I'll end it there, and I will introduce our next speaker, who will probably talk on the other side of the coin, Sean Mabry, who is the Deputy Commonwealth Attorney for Alleghany County.
Thank you, Mr. Baker. Good afternoon. I'm Sean Mabry. I'm the Deputy Commonwealth's Attorney for Alleghany County, the City of Covington, Clifton Forge, and Iron Gate. And our office prosecutes all felonies and a significant portion of misdemeanors that are punishable by jail time that occur within the jurisdictions that we serve. If you're attending this high school, we serve your jurisdiction. And we welcome you to being an adult and being an involved citizen in this community. And you've heard lots of comments so far about all of the bad things that can happen if you do a misstep or you have some kind of a misdeed, but there are also wonderful things about being 18, and we welcome you as adult citizens of this community. And if you take nothing else away from this afternoon, we hope that you take away the idea that you have agency. Others have already made reference to that. You have agency, and the kind of world and the kind of community that you build is up to you. And your choices in that have consequences. And as others have said, there are some very common things that we see in our office that tend to trip up young folks. And among them are alcohol and drugs and the internet, or some combination of all of those things. I'm the kind of speaker who likes to get involved with folks. How many of you know somebody who's been affected by alcohol or drugs? Almost the entire room. How many of you know someone who has been affected by a crime other than directly involving alcohol and drugs? Anecdotally, we see all the time that a huge correlation between alcohol and drug use, particularly illegal drug use, and other crimes lands on our desk every single day. Now, as others have alluded to, as adults, even as young adults, you're adults. In the eyes of the law, we don't distinguish that. The law does not distinguish whether you're 18 or whether you are 25. In most cases, there are some exceptions. One of them is DUI. You've heard lots of things here about DUI. How old do you have to be to drink alcohol? I want to hear an answer. 21. How old do you have to be to possess alcohol? 21. You know what happens if you drink even just a little bit and you drive when you're under 21? That's something that we call a baby DUI. That's not a legal term of art, but that's how it's frequently referred to in the legal community. And even a very, very small portion of alcohol in your blood can be enough to land you with a DUI conviction if you're under the age of 21, and that has lasting consequences for you. Likewise, the use of controlled substances, apart from the fact that it is dangerous, we want you all to be active and involved members in this community, and to do that, you need to be in this community. And obviously, the risks have already been highlighted. As Ms. Barber pointed out, no pill is safe. Those dangers are real, and the dangers not only to the users are real, the dangers to the distributors are real. Consequences for distributing Schedule 1 and Schedule 2 substances and lower level drugs as well are dire. A phrase that I don't know who it's attributable to, I certainly don't take credit for it, but it rings true, is that highs are temporary and felonies are forever. So the consequences of your actions can have very lasting effects, not only on the people who are directly impacted by them, but by those who carry on. Now again, I promised you I wasn't just going to come up and discuss gloom and doom. There are lots of other really exciting things that happen when you turn 18, right? What are some other cool things that happen when you turn 18? And don't just say, I get to tell mom and dad what I want to do. What are some other cool things that happen to somebody? Anybody? It's really important that you can do when you're 18. Yeah, right there. You get to vote. You get to vote, right? You get to vote. You get to serve on juries. You get to participate in this, in our democracy. And we want you guys to be involved members of society. To do that, we hope that you will take seriously everything that you've heard here today. We hope that you build a world that is built on good choices, fairness, and justice. And we are here to help try and ensure that that happens when sometimes the wheels fall off. So we look forward to welcoming you to the adult community here in Alleghany County. And if you're moving on outside of the community, we wish you all the best in whatever your next endeavors may be and whatever life takes you.
Lastly, and then we'll save some time for questions and answers, but I'll open it to Sheriff Moore. He's got a presentation. I think he even brought pictures.
I'm a visual effects kind of person, so you guys bear with me. Thank you for allowing me to be here. I know some of you don't want to be here, some of you are sleeping. I've been looking around the room the whole time. I think Ms. Rather had to get the attention of a couple of young men over there who thought something was more important than this. But you know, right now in your life, nothing is more important than turning 18. Okay, I was there. I was 17 years old. I was ready to go. I was out the door. I'm leaving this place. I'm never coming back. Well, you know what I did? I left that place and I never came back. One of the things that Mr. Mabry mentioned, did not mention that you can do that is really fun and really cool and really rewarding whenever you turn 18 years old is you can join the military. If you're not going to go to college, you're not going to get a job, you're going to lay around and sleep in mom and dad's couch or live in the basement for the next 10 years, why don't you give it a shot? I spent 29 years in the military. I had a very rewarding career. I loved every second of it. Uncle Sam sent me around the world free. Sent me to Iraq, two-way ticket. At one time I thought it was a one-way ticket, but it was a two-way. So anyways, now you're 18. What the law expects from you. Well, one, we expect that you would obey it. And those are the law enforcement agencies that are located within this county. Now that's not including DMV, that's not including the game wardens, that's not including the park officers up at Dalton. But these are the guys right here that will take you to jail. And they will ruin your life, okay? But they are not the ones that are going to ruin your life. If you do something dumb enough for them to put you in their car and bring you down to 268 West Main Street and put you in front of a magistrate, require you to hire Mr. Baker, and require you to stand in front of Mr. Moore and Mr. Mabry over there, and require you to get treatment from Miss Ingrid Barber's people, you're going to spend a lot of money, and you're going to ruin your career. You're going to ruin the rest of your life. Then you may be living in mom and dad's basement, okay? I don't care how smart you are. I don't care how tough you are. Whenever the judge says guilty, your life just changed. So welcome to adulthood. What comes along with adulthood? Anybody? You guys pay bills? Anybody pay their own bills? 1, 2, got a job? Nick, got a job. All right, she's already on her way to becoming an adult. All right, you got to pay your own bills. Mom and dad, they're going to cut you off. All right, you go to college, mom and dad may help you out for a couple more years, but when you graduate, it's time for you to put your big boy clothes on, your big girl clothes on, and go to school, all right, and become an adult. Be a contributing member of society. I got a whole jail full of them up there, okay? And we're trying to make a difference in their life. We've got programs in there. We're trying to help them. We're trying to get them jobs whenever they get out. Trying to get their driver's license back because they made a dumb decision and they lost their driver's license. Okay? Being an adult is not all about the party there. You see the Golden Girls have it, okay? You're going to grow old, okay? That's part of becoming an adult as well. We all grow old. Grow old as gracefully as you can. You heard them talking about the drugs, and you heard them talking about the alcoholism. It will age you quickly. It will make you feel like an old person whenever you're 30 years old, okay? I have many examples for you, okay? One thing you can expect when you're an adult, you're no longer a kid. The judge will say what happens whenever you go in front of them. It's not your mom and dad. They're not going to bring your report card in and show the judge and let the judge say, oh, he's a good student, she's a good student. We'll just let you do some community service. You go over to the fire department and wash a fire truck and we'll forgive your offense. That's not how it works when you're an adult, okay? We've all been to parties. Next slide, please. We've all been to parties, okay? I was 17, I was 18, I was 19, I was in the military. I've been there, done that, okay? I never done the pills, okay? Because I saw what it can do, all right? I saw what drugs can do to a family. I had a father who was an alcoholic, I had a father who was a drug addict, all right? He was a hard worker, but he was also an abuser, okay? I seen my mom get beat like a drum, all right? I don't want any of you to ever have to see that. You see that car? I used to be a state trooper here in Alleghany County, and I don't know the number of dead people that I've seen sitting in cars that look just like that right there, okay? Adult decisions. Decisions have consequences. You see that little thing there at the bottom? Little cell phone? It can cause you more problems than any of the other ones up there. Just like they were saying, you get an illicit picture of a friend, or you take a picture of your girlfriend or boyfriend during a moment that you all weren't thinking, and you send it to someone after you broke up, or you show it to your buddies after you break up, you're automatically committing a felony. What happens when you got a felony on your record? What happens when you're 50 years old and you have grandchildren and they're going through the internet, they're surfing, and they pull up a naked picture of you? Oh my God, that's my grandmother. Oh my God, that's my grandfather. I cannot believe it. You want to be embarrassed? That's embarrassing. Next slide, please. Okay, so now we're getting into the fun stuff, right? They legalized cannabis in Virginia. Well, they didn't. They just made it legal for you to grow your own. All right, how many of you are smart enough to grow your own, dry it out, and manufacture it to where you can smoke it legally? Anybody in here that smart? I'm not. Okay? You can't buy it, you can't sell it, you can't trade it, you can't possess more than a ½ ounce. None of that. It's not really legal. It's not legal in the federal system. So stay away from it. And besides, it makes you stink. mean, I don't know anybody that would want to walk around smelling like marijuana. The One Pill Can Kill initiative. Our Attorney General, our previous Attorney General, Jason Yara, started that initiative. One pill can kill you. If it's laced with the wrong drug, it can kill you like that. We've had people die in that emergency room right across the road from fentanyl poisoning, from heroin overdose, from meth overdose, okay? You take a little small pill that looks like a Skittle, all right, and you chew on it a little bit. The next thing you know, you start getting really hot inside. Your blood pressure goes up, and you start to get dizzy. Next thing you know, you pass out. And hopefully, your friends have some Narcan. And if they don't, do you think they know how to do CPR? You think they know how to do first aid on you? Do they know, will they even have the decency to call 911 if you're laying there dead and they're the ones that gave it to you? Think about it, okay? Think about it. It's not funny. Wake him up. Hello? Hello? All right, wake up. Now I see you talking. You're still leaning. All right? And then the pills. We said, you know, the pills, they can kill you as well. Next thing, driving responsibility. Guys, this is not a joke, okay? Becoming 18 is a very serious deal. All right? Your driving now has a whole lot more serious consequences. All right, mom and dad are not paying the tickets. A DUI can follow you for years. And guess what? You get sued. Not mom and dad, you. All right, how many of you can afford to be sued right now? Anybody? I can't. I don't want to be sued. I like to keep my hard-earned money. Next slide. And I'm just kind of hitting on everything everybody else talked about. Social media now becomes evident if necessary. Social media. It's the greatest thing that has ever been invented since you've been alive. But it's also the worst thing that has ever been invented since you've been alive. It destroys people. It makes people feel depressed. It makes people feel suicidal. They are bullied, cyberbullying. It's a very real thing. Have we had incidents like that around here? Yes, we have. Right here in this school, we've had incidents like that. Okay? And there's nothing worse than going to a parent and telling them that their child is not coming home because they made a terrible decision, a permanent solution to a temporary problem. It's very serious, guys. If you see someone that is going through that, help them out. Reach out. You guys are all Alleghany County graduate, Alleghany High School graduates. Forever, you will be linked together by the year that you graduate, okay? Someday you will lose someone. Someone will die during the next 25, 30 years. Let's make it as far away as it can be. And the reason I say that is if you see a buddy suffering, help them out. It's illegal to threaten someone on a computer device. A computer, a cell phone, a laptop, iPad, whatever you have. It's illegal. No company will ever call you or send you messages, okay? And I put that in there, I'm sorry, that will threaten you, okay? Let me finish that. No company will ever call you and threaten you to take you to court. We're gonna take your money from your checking account. We're gonna take your home. None of that, okay? These people are scams. And the reason I put that in there is because all of you have parents and grandparents, okay? And you're probably a lot more savvy on your computer devices, electronic devices, than they are, okay? Someone that's pretty talented in AI can call your grandmother at 2 o'clock in the morning and they can have their voice changed to be very, very close like yours, and they can say, Grandma, I'm in jail, and I need $5,000 to get out, or they said I'm going to have to, they're going to send me away. All right, what happens when Grandma hears that? She reaches for the checkbook and she starts writing, right? Okay, I know numerous people around here who have been scammed out of thousands of dollars. And that's why I urge you to be involved with them, to help them. The elderly population, the younger population. How many of you get those scam emails on your phone, at your Gmail, saying, hey, you missed a payment, or hey, here's a refund. Don't fall for it, guys. It's not worth it. And the probability of us finding those people is very, very slim. Decisions have consequences. One night can change everything in your life. Okay? You can be arrested, change your life. You can lose your job, change your life. You can get kicked out of school, can change your life. You can get someone pregnant, or you can become pregnant, and it can change your life for the next 18 to however many years. Addiction, alcoholism, consequences. Nobody wants to be in the back of a patrol car. Just like Mr. Baker said, know your rights, but show respect. It's not that hard. When a police officer pulls you over, you do not have to immediately cop an attitude. Do what they ask you to do, and politely know your rights. It goes a long way, guys, I'm telling you. I've been on both ends of the spectrum. I've gotten to the back bumper of a car and I could hear somebody cussing, why not, a whole bunch of words. Did you pull me over? Because I wasn't doing anything wrong. Do you know who I am? Do you know who my dad is? Why are you stopping me for? And then I've also, what can I do, sir? What did I do wrong? Goes a long way. And then the last slide that I have is what I wish I knew. Bad decisions add up fast. They really do. You don't have to learn everything the hard way. I learned the hard way a lot of times. Own your own mistakes. Be an adult. When you mess up, own it. Make decisions that your future self will be proud of. And remember, just like Chuck Norris, life is hard. How many of you know who Chuck Norris is? All right, baddest dude that ever lived. Thank you, guys.
So that brings us to the end of the speakers, but I did want to open it up to any questions that y'all might have for anybody specific or just in general. But I'll jump up at once. All right, well.
Come on now, all of you want to sleep.
I appreciate your attention anyhow, and I hope you got something out of it. I believe that they're going to be distributing a book called So You're 18, which has got a lot of useful information in it. About stuff that's been covered today, but also stuff like register to vote and licensing stuff. So take a look at that, and I hope you all congratulate you on your graduation.